Alrighty, hello everyone. It is time once again for an art stream, which I'm going to take a little bit slower and simpler today because my wrist has been kind of troublesome this week, which is very frustrating. And also my lower back has, so I'm just full of aches and pains today. It's pretty stupid. But despite this, I'm like, okay, I think I'm well enough that we can try and do an art stream if we're careful about it. So that's what's happening. And I really wanted to work on some stuff on screen for you guys. Specifically, Eldritchrune ending stuff, since that's what I've been doing a lot of this week, mostly background, so it's nice to get some stuff done with characters instead. We're working on the third part, where stuff's starting to go to crap. Which means it's fun. It's a lot of destruction stuff to draw. A whole lot of that. So, if you're joining, I hope that your weekend is going okay so far. And all that stuff. It's nice and not too rainy out. It's all sunny, so that's nice for me. I may have to go out later. It's not nice for this guy. He's about to have a very bad day. Hello, hello. Anomalous guard number 5 flees the scene. True. Exit. Pursued by a chimera. Hello, thank you so much for coming to the stream. Hope that your day is going well so far. Run, ice cream bunny guy, run! I'm gonna get you! A lot of guards will be fleeing the scene because they're not that brave. Oh, I'm sorry about homework. Is it time for finals? Oh, I guess it is time for finals already in some things. Like at the college I went to, we had finals pretty early. We had them in April. So that's doable. I'm like, wait, finals already? No, I can do that. Does anybody run with their hands spread out like that? I don't know. Probably not, but at least makes for effective, single pose. It's the gay guards, run! I'm not sure if I have anything else happen to these guys. Maybe they get away. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably not how I would run. How would I run if I was running away from horrible monsters? I don't know. Probably really badly, and then I'd fall and get caught. I don't think I'd be a fast enough runner. Don't put me in the zombie run. I will not win. I will not outlast the zombies. That is true. Like, if we were going to encounter some real life zombies, I don't think they would be all that fast. And again, zombie apocalypse is like something I'm least concerned about. Because people are like, oh, zombies. And I'm like, are we talking like disease zombies or like undead zombies? Because if we're talking undead zombies, like, those really aren't that threatening. They're not fast. Sprinting full speed at you dead. Surprised nobody's done that kind of parody yet. The sprinting dead. Pole vaulting over your walls dead. Here comes the Catti. I'm even wearing my Catti and Bratty shirt today. Although this poor shirt has been around for a while and it's starting to show some wear and tear, so I might need to replace it. Although if that were the case, I'd probably just get some kind of new shirt. They have so many nice shirts up there. That is true. Although it kind of means I can't, like, wear it out as many places, because it's like, I don't think you want to see, like, you know, a shirt with huge holes in the armpits. I don't mind when I'm at home, but... Kitty or kitty. Very big kitty. Big, scary. I'm gonna get you, kitty. Weird void kitty. Hard to draw from certain angles, that's true. Chimera kitty. I do like doing stuff with these two. They're fun to draw. So, I'm hoping we'll get a good Catti and Jockington scene and stuff in chapter 4 so that I can be like, oh, in the future, I can base this for the meeting Catti and Jockington scene that I gotta eventually do. I did not. That is my own folly, for sure. Like, let's make these designs very complicated. And then let's make a 20-part ending with them. This is probably going to be like 150 some odd pages or whatever featuring them. That's a great idea. This definitely won't end in tragedy for me. It's just a doodle, they said, ignoring the impending doom. True. I won't do anything extensive with this. I know my limits, I said, ignoring those. Beware, beware. At least if I ever do get to do the Eldritchrune animatic series like I'd want to do in the future, I would not be doing it with these guys. It would be with canon guys. But yes, beware, or you too could be me, doing so many pages. Oh, these would not be good for animation sort of stuff because the designs are just too complicated. And even then, they're probably like, you know, less complicated than something people expect in like FromSoft or whatever, with like Bloodborne or whatever. Well, those are a little bit easier to get away with because they're 3D animated, whereas 2D would be just so much work. Eldritchrune Noel. I have heard Vampire Survivors is fun. Oh, I've never played it. I still need to figure out what my next game's going to be after Okami. So I know that, I'm pretty sure Eldritchrune Chapters 3 and 4 will be out before then, but for that I am going to play those myself. I'll record my initial reactions, but it won't be a stream. And then later, after I've done it like once or twice, I'll probably do a true friend-powered Friday night, where I have friends over and we play it with them and they get to do really fun voices. It always is very funny. That is how I get to share it with my friends. But yeah, the first time I play, I will record my reactions because usually I just like write it down. But this time I'll record it, just I'm not going to stream it. I like to be able to like listen to the music and all that. No. Let's see. I keep remembering what stuff I have in the special layer and what on the regular layer. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, usually when I've been recording my first impressions, I've just been writing them down, but I would like to say something this time. I think I'll make a new, fun new take on it. Actually, I should probably leave that to not lines. We'll do that with regular special effects later. Special effects will be later. It's all good. Sometimes you just make a reference and people are like, what is that about? And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's a secret. Probably half the songs I randomly sing in the middle of a stream is like, people don't know what that is because it's like some oldies or whatever grew up listening to because my parents put on music like, you know, the Eagles, Mamas and the Papas, Fleetwood Mac, that kind of 60s, 70s, folk rock or whatever. So that's what I have ingrained in my brain. That's what I listened to as a child. Ugh. Okay, we'll do a few of these, but yeah, a lot of these will be in them. This will be a crazy blending of the special effects and stuff like that. Yeah, yep, it happens. You're like, oh, this joke will be really funny for one specific person in my life. Not much can be done about that. That's just how it is. I love how every time I draw Catti and Jockington, I realize, oh, there's another panel where I forgot Catti's, like, halo. I don't know what you call the orbiting stuff. I just call it halo, I guess. Don't know who Igor is. I'm assuming this would be like the Frankenstein character, but maybe it's not something else. Be like, oh yeah, I'm an 80s person. I was born in the 80s, but also like, you know, because I was born in the 80s, I was a child in the 80s, so I was like not old enough to experience a lot of the things that people associate with the 80s. Heck, we didn't really have a working TV. Well, we did have a working TV, but it was like 3 channels TV. So pretty much it was, we're going to record stuff off the TV and then watch it over and over. Yeah, if your parents have it, then you're probably going to have it. Again, I got a lot of 60s, 70s, like, folk rock, because that's what my parents would put on when I was a kid. That's what they liked. And I didn't have much say in it. I mean, sometimes they would put on music for the kids, but not, I'm pretty sure as parents, they're like, we don't want to listen to Raffi all the time. Ooh, Elvis. A little of that. I think one of our earliest CDs we have like Vivaldi 4 Seasons, so a bit of classical in there, and the Good Morning Vietnam soundtrack. I recognize Hound Dog. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. So I know at least one Elvis song. Blue Christmas, ironically. I'm pretty sure that's Elvis. Oh yeah, we had quite a bit of Beatles. We had a lot of Beatles growing up. Gotta have Beatles. I'm not sure how much we got Earth, Wind, and Fire, though. But yeah, we did have a lot of the Eagles as well. And again, yeah, a lot of Fleetwood Mac. Amy Grant, because, you know, we were Christians. We had a lot of Amy Grant. I know I'm old because it was Thursday or Friday. absolutely wrecked my lower back and it's still hurting. I've got an icy hot on it right now, which is helping a little bit, but I'm like, oh geez, I'm old. My body is falling apart. My boy, like, you don't realize, oh wait, your spine is important. It really sucks when it's not working. My poor spine. Stupid spines. Please do your magic icy hot. I haven't actually used icy hots before, but so I got one on and I'm like, these things do not stay stuck to your back like they're supposed to. They fall off pretty easily. Can you guess which NPC this is? Probably not. This is like a slightly more obscure one. It is not Politics Bear. Good choice, though. Have I drawn him yet? I'm sure I've drawn Politics Bear. I'm just not sure where he is. It is Dragon Dad. The one who's like, the little one has to eat covered in glitter because of needs to look like treasure. Yeah, it's Dragon Dad. You got it. I love all the random cute little stuff like that. Like, I'll only eat it if it looks like treasure. Like, that's just a cute little thing you get from Monster Folk. Exactly. You gotta have the quirky NPCs. That's half the fun of making an Earthbound like, is like, wow, look at this weird guy you're gonna meet like once and then never again. You're like, who was that weird little guy? You don't know. They're just one of the many weird little guys in the tapestry of life. You're like, oh yeah, this Earthbound like's about depression. No, that's not what it is to be an Earthbound like. To be an Earthbound like, you have to have, you know, yeah, you have to have the RPG element, but it's also got to be full of weird little NPC guys. And that's part of what makes the world feel full. Is you're like, oh, everybody's a weird little guy. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Townspeople are also just like that. I haven't gotten any of the new Paleontauros from Pokemon Go, and maybe I'm not in the right region for it. But I thought those were supposed to happen. Maybe they, because I'm already have regular Tauros, they're like, you don't need Paleontauros. It's like, but I wanted a Paleontauros. Oh, no, that's not very smart. Oh man, this just reminds me, oh, it's gonna be so cool to hear Rude Buster again for the first time. Once we get to chapter 3, it's gonna be like, yes, 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 I'm so excited for just like, and here you go, here's Rude Buster. You've waited so many years for it again. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we'll get some new mechanics that weren't in that. My best guess is if there is a mechanic that is in 3 and 4 that gets retroactively added to 2, it's going to be like emphasizing enemy types more, like, you know, electric and holy and cat and puppet and all that kind of stuff. Like, it'll make that more prominent so that you can respond accordingly, because they have all these weird, like, elemental pairs sort of thing, like this element is strong against that element, and it's really kind of out there and wild and doesn't make much sense. But if that gets congealed more, then that I think would be retroactively added to 1 and 2. I still think it'd be very funny if, like, Toriel was the one to explain that to him. It's like, oh, you don't understand that? Oh, I have to be the tutorial person. Haha. My child, don't you understand how this works? Chris, my child, what are you doing with that dog puppet? Do you not know that cat and puppet are elemental pairs? Have you learned nothing in school? Chris just like, what? Susie starts making fun of Rousey because, oh, you didn't know something, haha, we had to learn it from Chris's mom. Oh, I knew it, Susie, I just didn't think it was relevant. I'll introduce one mechanic at a time, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if she'll be a party member or anything like that. It seems likely she'll be showing up at least. Just, I mean, it's possible she wouldn't. I actually at first thought that she wouldn't show up, but it's possible she does. I can't see a possibility where she isn't. I'll be honest. I actually, like, people are convinced, oh, we're definitely going to get, like, you know, Undyne or Napstablook. I'm actually not really convinced of that. I'm not certain yet if we're going to get Undyne or Napstablook or any of the police. I think Chris tried to summon the police there. I think that was their intention. I just don't know if that's actually going to work out the way they intended. So my prediction right now is no Dark World Undyne, sadly. As cool as that would be. Yeah, I just find it really weird that that's, like, you know, we've been told, oh, you know, Undyne's really raring to, you know, get some crime, so here's some crime for her to do. And, like, Toriel has a hard time getting through, and then she just, like, falls asleep waiting for the police. Like, where are they? where are the police? Literally. I feel like if Undyne was going to, like, jump on this, she would have gone as soon as she could. I just find it very weird that, like, she calls the police and then nothing happens until after Chris makes the fountain. So I saw this suggested, and this is actually kind of interesting, that we might have Asgore show up. I'm gonna burgle them! But we have Asgore show up in the Dark World instead, so that's like, uh-oh, Chris, now you gotta deal with all the family drama. Yeah, Susie in the corner just like, oh, that super awkward thing that's like your friend's parents are fighting and you're just like, I don't know what to make of this. Chris, your family is weird. I know that'll probably lessen our chances of getting a Dark World in the flower shop, but I don't know, call it a hunch. It's going to be the Dreamer House Power Hour. I guess we'll find out in 50 some odd days. Why are soccer balls like the hardest thing to draw? If like Jockington drew like 60 of these, good job, Jockington. Soccer balls kind of suck to draw. Very distinct shape that's kind of a pain in the butt. Oh, that's terrifying. That's really terrifying. So apparently this happened when I was a little kid as well, like a very little kid. I had like a best friend when I was like, 5 or 6 or whatever. And there apparently her father was real, like, kind of abusive as well. Like, he would scream and yell and throw stuff. And I found this really upsetting, and I drew something about it. Is like, because that was my only means of expression of, this really upset me, this guy being just, kind of terrifying and abusive. I don't remember this at all. I have no memory of this. My mom was like, oh yeah, so-and-so, her father, he was really bad, and, you drew this thing once to express how you felt, and I'm like, I have no memory of this. Not a single memory of this at all. So apparently I did this, and I just don't recall it at all. But I was also really little, so I guess it's not that surprising. It's hard to remember stuff from when you're a little kid. But yeah, that stuff is legit terrifying to kids. No, I don't think anything came of it. I don't know what could be done about it, because again, I don't remember this at all. I mean, maybe something came of it. Maybe he left or something. I don't know. I can't remember when I stopped being friends with her. I think we just we moved, and we moved somewhere in the distance and all that. But if something came of it, I don't know, because I don't remember it at all. I don't think I shared this in a class. I'm pretty sure my mom was the one to find it, because she was the one who mentioned it to me later. I was like, when did I draw that? I don't know. Sometimes when you're in a certain position in life, you just kind of end up back with those kinds of guys. It's really hard to get out of that cycle sometimes. I gotta stop soon to do a little stretch. Yeah, cycle of abuse, all that stuff. It is. If it was easy to break, it wouldn't be as much of a problem, and that's part of it. You got to really, really work at it. And also, most importantly, you need support. You need people in your life that can one, help you realize, hey, you're in this really bad situation, and two, help you break away from that situation. Is if you don't have that kind of backup of, oh, I can leave the situation, like financially, socially, etc., physically, etc., then it's just all the harder. Oh, that is a curse. Ooh. That is a curse. Alright, after this guy, I will need to do some stretches. Take care of my wrist, because still being a pain. Right now it's not too bad. I'm trying not to overdo it. Attack of the soccer ball! Sports, 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 sports. Alright, let's stretch. Take care of my wrist. Although it is hard to do one of these stretches because, again, lower back is still in bad shape. Do your work, Icy Hots. Ugh. Do your work. I actually had no clue. I haven't used Icy Hots before because I don't usually, get this kind of back pain. This is kind of unusual. And looked at it, I'm like, oh, it's menthol. Of course it's menthol. What can't menthol fix? Just like humans saw menthol and are like, it burns and it freezes. Hooray! Now this is medicine. Birdley's ramblings. There's a little bit of that in this part, but I don't know if we'll be able to reach Birdley today. We will find out. See, I don't want to rush too much and mess up my wrist. We're taking it slow and steady wins the race. At the very least, yeah, Doctors Inexplicable about human culture 600 years later. At the very least, over this past week, I did a lot of background work. I got 2 more parts with layout and text for them. I got 3 parts done with rough backgrounds, and 1 part with clean backgrounds. So we did a bunch of backgrounds. Progress is happening, but because this is a 20-part monstrosity, self-inflicted, it just feels kind of glacial. But once it's all done, I did want to kind of release it all in succession, like maybe a part every other day, which would make it like a 40-day venture, which is insane, but that's probably why it's taking so long right now. Yeah, how long was Dogs of Future Past? Goodness gracious. I'm trying to remember how many pages. I feel like it was like 450. Because Paper Trail was about 600. I'm not sure how many pages the story part of Eldritchrune is going to be because, that's just kind of go as I want to, pick a scene and go for it kind of thing. But this ending, as of part 7, is like 54 pages long. So I wouldn't be surprised if by the end we're at like 160 pages or so. Yeah, and even in Dogs of Future Past, some of those I did prose. And I probably should have done prose for these instead of drawing, but I found that people just got mad if there was prose. Yeah, Paper Trail is 70 parts. That one is very long. That one is a lengthy boy. I know. I know it would be faster to do prose, but I also like doing the visual storytelling part. Alright, I'll be right back for a few more stretches and such. Making comic is hard. Alrighty, did a few more stretches, and now we're back to do some more. Yeah, the fun thing about comics is just, oh boy, they are time consuming. You gotta really want to do it. You gotta be like, yes, please, this is for me. Get those soccer balls are coming. Yeah, that is part of the issue, is that, especially with comics, you're like, you don't have time to be a perfectionist. There's so much you have to do for it. And the only way to get better at it is to just kind of be like, okay, these are the mistakes I've made, and keep going. Mistakes were made, and they will be made again. Oh yeah, that's definitely true with storyboarding. Storyboarding is very much like, if you are spending time making this look nice, you are doing it wrong. Your job is to make it clear and concise and as fast as possible, so that everybody else can follow along with what you've done and actually make the animation. And especially with the show that I'm on now, the way it's being handled, I actually like the way it's being handled. I think it's a good way to handle it, where much of our stuff is done not even in a rough stage, but like in a stick figure stage, pretty much. So you got to, if you can communicate what you're trying to do with stick figures from early on, then like you're already set. Everything else is window dressing. And everything else is a rain of deadly soccer balls. You don't even know what soccer is. Yep. Hey, you can do it with animation too. They do crazy stuff. As long as you know what you're doing, you can make anything look good. Stick figures or what? It's like those days of it's like, I don't know, artist versus animation or whatever it's called, or even just stick figure fights where really your purpose is not to do a fancy character, but a crazy fight scene, which you can do as long as you understand as long as you have good effects animation or timing, or especially if you're Monty Ohm. That's so sad he passed away. I remember in 2007 or whatever, I was taking animation courses, and you know, no, at one point, oh, animated versus animation. That's crazy. That's crazy. And at one point, like, a bunch of the guys were gathered around a computer, like, you have to come see this. This is so sick. And it was Dead Fantasy 2 or something like that. So we're all just, you know, gathered around these old computers, being like, whoa. Watch Dead Fantasy. I know. This soccer ball attack. This is traumatic for me because when I was a little kid, a college student accidentally kicked a soccer ball like right into my stomach, and it knocked the wind out of me, and I cried. I was getting all ready to help, like, do some building and stuff, and I had to stop because just boom, right in the stomach. No. When I was in college, that was the era of Homestar Runner. Which, that was the best. Oh, that is not fun. Ugh. Like, no, my human body. Why does a simple child's plaything destroy it? So these guys getting attacked. Oh, I forgot a guy over there. Getting attacked by soccer balls. Oh, not that little. Run, little goblin guy. Alright, good luck, good luck. Thank you for coming to the stream. That is true. Anything delivers blunt force trauma if it's going fast enough. Good luck with phone stuff. And thanks for stopping by. These guys, meanwhile, are having a terrible day. Yes, let's put all the things on fire. At least with this one, I remembered the little planet halo. Oh, nice. Always good when you finally get that foam paid off. I'm not sure when my current one's going to be paid off because they're always like, well, let's do this for 2 years. And it's like, okay. I'm pretty sure I've had it for 2 years, so the bill's bound to go down sometime soon. Not really like getting the newest model every time. I'm just like, no, thanks. I'm going to use my phone until it's just not practical to use it that way anymore. I do not need nor want newest model constantly. As long as it can run Pokemon Go. Like, I think I had a 4 for a long time, even when I moved here. Yeah, like, get them a couple of years behind. They're still gonna work fine. It's not gonna be extremely expensive, and they're not gonna be like, and also these other problems have popped up. If it's going, then it's going. I used Macs for the longest time, but I have finally switched to PC, and I'm kind of glad I did. I'm not a massive Mac hater like a bunch of people think. Like, I don't have any strong brand loyalty. Windows is not free from sin either. But at least from certain perspectives, I like being able to repair stuff a bit easier. It's frustrating having to be like, well, if I want this thing fixed, I'm going to have to replace it because repairing it is just not doable for me. But like, all my family still uses Macs. I still have my old Mac. I have to do something with it. I have to like sell it somewhere. Yeah, it definitely is nice, you know, not being like, is there a Mac version of this? I'll just run the, I'll just run the regular version. That part is definitely nice. Heck, there were some games I wanted to play that I couldn't finish because Mac just would not, like, Mac would run them, but wouldn't, like, the save function wouldn't work. I think this was true of, like, any, RPG Maker games. So it's nice not having to worry about that at least. Yeah, I kept my iPhone even though I don't use a Mac anymore. Because trying to convert at this point would be exhausting. Actually, I'm a little bit done here. The snaky boy. He needs to grow the beard. When will he do that? Hello, hello. Thanks so much for coming to the stream. We are working on some character cleanups for Eldritchrune ending. Mostly Catti and Jockington looking around for a snack. I hope you're having a good day too. This icy hot is doing a lot of the heavy lifting for me because back's still hurty. And I'm old. Ah, my leg's been broken by an evil soccer ball. Actually, yeah. What's going on with this? Oh, he's wearing a hood. Like, is that hair? I can't tell. A casualties estimate. Oh, good grief. Okay. Huh. In terms of hard numbers, this is not going to include just Hometown, because this also includes, like, the Fortress and the Empire soldiers and stuff like that. But, I would venture probably about 11 or 1,200 people. So, something in that range? 1,100 sounds about right. What? Oh, indeed. Keep in mind, that's probably mostly Empire folks. There's not nearly that many people in Hometown, so... I'm actually not certain on, like, what is Hometown's total population? Can't quite see what's going on, so I'm gonna... What? Do not think about this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. They were definitely all bad guys. Definitely. Run, Shay, run. Speed run your way out of there. Yeah, definitely just bad people. No good people. Do the punch card trick. Families take care of? What about them? Oh, they're fine. They're fine. They're not bothered. Background line is just too heavy here. They had absolutely no families or children at home. All of them. That guy sucked anyway. Oh, I just realized these were in special lines. Oh no. Oh no. Did I do it? I did do it. No. Okay, come here. We only wanted the soccer balls in the special lines. The rest of you all get over here. There we go. Ah, that guy sucked anyway. All 1,100 of them all sucked. No, not QC. QC's like, I don't suck. What about me? I actually do find it kind of interesting that QC is among the names that are very interesting to Gaster. Like, why her? Huh. Chris can't catch a break. Yeah, she is part of the cult. Like, pretty much all of the other names, I guess, make some sense. Catti and Bratty are a little weird. Not like Catti with an I, but Catti with a Y. That's a little weird. But, you know, they had some prominent thing. But why QC? There's a lot of time for it. I find it interesting that Garrison is a name of interest, but Alvin is not. Like, huh. What's going on with that? We've got all kinds of other stuff to go over. Night Theory, the one simple piece of evidence. Joking. I see people seem to like sometimes really hate the idea of Alvin being the Knight. I'm like, why hate? Like, if you don't believe that, that's fine, cool. But people seem to like really dislike it. I don't know. I'm trying to think of anybody that I would really be mad if they were the Knight, and I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what Alvin does. See, I don't even think he's necessarily boring. I think there's potential there, even just with, like, the Chapter 2 stuff we've seen. I'm like, okay, there's something going on with this guy that we're going to get more of, probably in Chapter 4 of the Church, but I wouldn't necessarily say he's boring. I guess I'm very intrigued by any character that was not already in Undertale but is new to Deltarune. We have lots of potential with what could be going on with them. I feel like Toby could do something interesting with him. I think people's tendency to reduce him to, overzealous religious leader. I'm like, he doesn't read that way. Like, he just doesn't read as overzealous religious leader. That actually makes him more interesting. I don't know, in some ways I find that more interesting because it seems more like, oh, this is like a religious leader I would know in real life. Maybe so, but again, I'm like, have y'all met religious people and, like, church leaders or whatever in real life? Because, like, he is way more typical of, like, just a general religious leader than one you would get in fiction. And that makes it more interesting to me. Because I'm like, oh, I'm not coming in with, like, this expectation of, oh, the overzealous religious figure. He's acting just like a regular religious figure from regular every town. And so I'm like, oh, okay, this is a person, not an archetype. Let's see what happens. I guess so. Which, I'm in trouble then, because I'm Christian. But also, like, the monster religion is not Christianity. So, like, it seems to have some aesthetic relations to it. But I find it also very interesting. They're like, no, we don't believe in sin or confession. some of the core tenets of Christianity. So I'm like, oh, I wonder what this means. Please explain to me more. I guess so, but again, that's why he's interesting, because he's not really following that pattern. He's just a religious figure guy. If he's supposed to be some, angry zealot, he's hiding it really well. Like, even Final Fantasy X, they were more blatant about that, when, Final Fantasy X is definitely a religion bad kind of game that's kill God. Oh yeah, confession is not a thing in Protestantism, true. But the concept of sin is consistent across Catholicism and Protestantism. And it, ironically, in some ways, is a bit more of an obsession in Protestantism. But no, confession is not a thing for Protestants. Source, I am Protestant. Pretty much my entire family is, except for one cousin who converted to Catholicism, which was interesting. I think he converted to Catholicism because we had, like, a great granddad who was Catholic, and, like, he really got into it from his great granddad. Source, they didn't make it the fuck up. Yeah. So I guess, like, if you've got some kind of religious trauma, you're like, I don't like any religious figures. Okay, fine. But, again, I find Alvin interesting because he is not a typical religious figure archetype. He seems way more like people I have known in real life than a religious zealot character. Why would anybody go from Protestant to Catholicism? One, I don't know. I would not personally. But two, I think with that particular cousin, he just really, really liked that kind of structure. Catholicism, I think, is a lot more structured and rules-based than Protestants. Yeah. Like, I can kind of see, like, if you really, really like the sense of hierarchy that brings, because I think people get into that because the hierarchy brings comfort. It doesn't to me. I'm not a hierarchy-loving person. But if you really want that, if you want that kind of structure and really want stick to tradition kind of thing, I can see the appeal. My one thing of Catholics doing it better than Protestants is Catholic aesthetics way better than Protestants. Protestants have no aesthetics. Our churches are so bland. Like at least Catholics, y'all got like cool, art and architecture and stuff like that. Protestants are allergic to that. Have the most bland churches. It is hard to find some that are any good in that. Not where the money goes. That sucks. I probably should find one. My parents are, probably not a little miffed that I don't go to church since I moved. I still believe it. I just I haven't. Obviously, I don't go to church Sunday morning. I'm doing this, but I don't know. The thing with finding churches, it's hard. It really is the kind of thing you're supposed to like do with, not by yourself. And I don't know, if I had somebody to go with, I'd probably go. But by myself, it's like, I don't want to go by myself. Protestants are too business majory to have aesthetic. True. Like, that's just true. Yeah, no, definitely American Protestants are. You go outside of that and it gets a little bit better aesthetics. Hello, thank you for coming to the stream. We're discussing religion while these guys run away from horrible monsters. I might need... Oh, it's already almost 10. Gotta stop soon for a stretch. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that would be a no-go for me. It's a rough position to be in, because, like, my parents are very involved in church. My dad is, like, a church leader kind of person. But I also, like, I trust his take on things because he also, like, studies this stuff really extensively. And it's not just like, oh, you have to believe things because, if you don't, you're bad. Like, he really gets into and examines, like, the cultural aspect, the context of things, the history, the language, all the stuff surrounding it. So I feel like I get a much more nuanced picture of stuff from him than I would from a lot of other places. So I trust his judgment. I like talking religion with him because he knows what he's talking about. It's his job. Yeah, it's hard to find that balance between, like, you want that community, but you don't want, right-wing nonsense. And this guy's just pushing her aside. He's not very nice. But like a lot of my friends, grew up in church and left it, and I'm not surprised they did. Especially, like, queer friends who, like, you really got to have this careful balance of, finding a church that doesn't just absolutely wreck you if you're queer. Because if they do, then, like, a lot of times people just are like, then screw the church. I'm gonna go home if you're not gonna, treat me well. Which, absolutely fair. That should be the bare minimum. Oh, and we're back with QC, who's also having a bad time with this. I know we didn't see until the previous thing, but this guy was just harassing her, and then is like, oh, giant monster, time to run away. Alright, as soon as we're done with this panel, I gotta take another stretch break, take care of my wrist, and also get more orange juice. QC, let's go. Unfortunately, her day's about to get a lot worse. It's about to get a lot worse. QC stands for quite cooked. True. I'm wondering what her name does stand for in canon. Like Quincy something? Quick carrots? I don't know. Juicy QC. Stands for QCC. Quaint character. Yeah, quaint makes sense, actually. Alright. Okay. Let's stop and do a stretch, because we gotta take care of my wrist. And also I will get my orangey juice. Ugh, at least the icy hot has not fallen off yet. DC Comics, true. Oh, thanks for stopping by. I hope your visit goes okay. Yes, take care of your own wrists as well. Take care of your body. As it gets older, it starts falling apart like my back is doing right now. That's why I have the icy hot. Yeah, DC stands for Detective Comics, but then they just say DC Comics, so it's Detective Comics. Like all of our backs. Stop shrimping. This is your command to get up and stop shrimping. When you are an old fart like me, you won't be able to shrimp anymore because your back will be like, no. Ugh. Especially like right now, this bending my head down, that I can feel in the muscles in my lower back. It's just, ugh, strain. Move your neck a lot, move your back a lot. Get up. Move your shoulders, move your neck, move your back, and do not shrimp. Because I know the tendency is when you're hard in your work, you want to shrimp. Oh, bend up your legs and spine all shrimped out. Can't do it. We are not shrimps, we are men. We are ordinary men. I keep seeing that meme going around and I have no clue what it is. We're just normal men. I don't know what that's from. Yay! Congratulations! I'm glad it's all done and edited. Thank you, Elaine, for doing editing's hard. So I'm glad you got that feedback and I'm glad you're posting it. If I don't have a link to it already, please link that so that I can put it on the master post. Because I will add things to the master post now, as long as you let me know where the link is. As long as I'm able to update it, I will update it. Oh no! Finish your comic. How long is it supposed to be? Well, drunken friend. Okay. That's the reference. We're ordinary men instead of innocent men. Okay. 'Cause yeah, I see that like that little bear puppet. I guess that's what broke the actress. Okay. Inside jokes that took off into the internet. Context be damned. Okay. Okay, cool. Once you get the new one up, let me know and I'll add that as well. But if it's already got a link, then great. Oh no! What program are you using? I'm sorry it got corrupted. That sucks. That happened to me with Maya all the time. And I hated that. Alright, I will be right back for one more stretch and orange juice and stuff like that. Alrighty. Back to it. Your PC's drawing tablet poofed. Wait, how did, like, the driver stop working? How did that happen? Okay. We're back to it. Were you using a free program or something? Yeah, it's nice when you have the planning done. That's the important part, but the actual work part of it, that's what takes a while. As evidence, maybe being like, okay, I've got all of the ending for Eldritchrune planned. Oh no, it's 20 parts long. So good luck. The whole tablet vanished? As in, like, you can't find it? I'm sorry, I'm a little confused as to how that happened. Was it like a school tablet or something, or was it your personal tablet? Snatched, indeed. Well, that sucks. Good grief. I'll say if that was my personal tablet, I would scream and explode. Wait, what? Somebody stole your tablet? I feel like that's kind of the bigger deal. If that was your personal tablet, gotta get that back. Like, that's not great. Is this like an iPad-sized tablet, or is this like a larger tablet? I'm probably just like my brain is not registering it properly because I use pretty large tablets. But no, if that's your personal tablet, then I don't know, report that stolen or something if you can, because that's not cool at all. iPad size? Okay. Yeah, see if you can report that stolen or something, because that's really not cool. You should be able to get that back. Especially if it has, like, I don't know, like schoolwork or stuff on it. Oh yeah, that's pretty normal. Like, you can have like your outline and stuff, and then as you're writing it, you're like, oh, something else has come up that I did not anticipate. And you can just put it in. That is a pretty normal way to do writings. I'm quite certain Toby has done some of that himself. Like, I'm pretty sure he has the entire story for Eldritchrune set, but there might be something where it's like, oh, this came up. I'm gonna add this in. Yep. I'm sure he's got all the major. Well, actually, yeah, we know he has all the major story beats planned, because we know in one of those newsletter interviews, you know, one of the other artists talked about him basically doing a board pitch of it. Type the ideas. You're like, you're on your own, lady. That's an outline. Man, describing that, I'm like, I so wish I could have been for that board pitch for the whole game. That would have been so cool. There's something very uniquely fun about just like sitting and listening to somebody like explain their whole idea to you. Just raw, unfettered, like, here's the thing that's in my brain. I'm going to tell you as best as I can. Like, oh, that's good stuff. So, that's a place I wish I could have been. I know. The small subset of people who know about Pluie. There before the Pluie implementation. We'll all know about Pluie then. True. The thing is, will Pluie be able to live up to Newbert? Will we have Newbert purists fighting the Pluie converts? Plubert! That's the real OTP. My man and the implementation. Implement my man. Implement him. Two sides of the same coin. Newbert number 1. I do love me Newbert. I love the way they introduced Newbert, just like replaying chapter 1 and then being like, yeah, Newbert's always been here, didn't you know? Just gaslighting people. Oh. And you're like, wait, what? I do like the randos. I like you, original Starwalker. These dark fountains are pissing me off. That makes sense. That often happens. Sometimes that's just what you gotta do. This lack of dark fountains is pissing me off. Starwalker was the knight all along. Here's a question then. What kind of object is Starwalker? Since Starwalker seems to do fine in any dark world, he doesn't turn to stone. But he's also a key item. I will also join. Didn't the last time I played chapter 2 I gave the present to Susie so I could get the Susie plush? Because what I usually end up doing when I do that part is I give it to Birdly because I really like having, you know, Birdly's reaction one is very funny. There's no wrong answers there. But also, like, if you give the thing to Birdly and have Starwalker in your party or in your key items, then very briefly for one room you just get like a 6-person party with, like, you know, Main Funging and Noelle and Birdly and Starwalker all following you. It's just extremely funny. But I do like having Susie have the plush too. All good answers. So did you give it to Noelle? Who's your preferred gift recipient? I do like their friendship. I hope it keeps developing. That it gets repaired. That would be extremely cute. I guess you can have it if you want. Yes, I do want it. Enjoyers, rise up. Yeah, unfortunately, the "we're something else" line always seems to have like some kind of negative connotation to it, whereas the we're friends things at least seems to be the one that Noelle is happiest with, and the one that Chris seems to kind of want the most. It feels like they want to be friends with Noelle again, but they don't almost feel like they can't or don't deserve it or something like that. Oh, that Claire de Lune comic is really good. It's a really good one. Who was the artist who made that again? That was a really good one. I meant we're best friends. Stop, Noelle. She's not happy. These two kids missing their older siblings. Wizard orb. Okay, thank you. As in pondering. A sloppy kiss right in front of the Addison. Oh no. These two kids with complicated feelings about their older siblings. Oh. Oh. It really does feel like a lot of what Chris's troubles stem from is whatever happened to Des, Chris feels like it's that they are responsible. And that has made their relationship rough with Noelle and everybody else. Oh gosh, I think I heard about that video. Yeah, I was like, you know what? Do I want to argue against this? Do I want to spend my time fighting against this? Or do I want to make comics? So I ain't gonna engage. I ain't gonna engage. There's a part of me that wants to jump into the drama, because I think if I wanted to argue things, I could pretty well. But I'm like, is that how I want to spend my time? It feels like Homophobic is very much a joke. The problem is sometimes it's hard to tell. People when the narrative clues are clearly set romance in a very typical way. Is this subversion? Working on personal comics is fun, but if you have something to do for school, do that first. Get your schoolwork done. She's mad. Yeah, I think we're going to get more Suzelle in Chapter 4. Like I answered in that one ask. I think we're going to actually go full throttle into it in Chapter 4. Because I think we've got a potential drama bomb being set up with Catti there. I feel like people are really sleeping on, like, Catti and her thoughts and her relationship with, like, Susie and Noelle and Chris. She knows something about Susie that we don't know yet. That's my take on it. Because I don't think she would be, like, this cold towards Susie if it was just like, oh, she just stole Jockington's hat. Even if it's clear that, like, she really likes Jockington. I think there's more to it than that. There is some drama bomb that's going to happen between those four characters, and it's going to be interesting. And I think that's going to happen in Chapter 4. That'll especially help us get more into, like, Susie's backstory. I find it really interesting. It could be an overdramatic teen thing, but also, like, you know, this is important to them. The whole thing with overdramatic teen things is that it feels super important in the moment. I don't know, I just find it really interesting that the people that are never... I never see the people who are anti-Suzel. They never say, oh, Catti's right. Catti is correct. She's the only one we've seen so far that, like, really does not like the idea of Susie and Noelle getting together. And I never see them being like, oh, Catti's correct. And it's because Catti puts the blame on Susie. Catti sees Susie as the problem, not Noelle as the problem. And I don't know. I find that telling. Maybe not. Maybe they're not paying attention to Catti. Well, maybe they're not paying attention to a lot of things. But I really can't help feeling like anti-Suzel in a large part comes from people who do not like Noelle as a character. Because always it seems like if there's a problem with Suzel, the problem doesn't lie with Susie, it lies with Noelle, which I find interesting. The thing is, she doesn't seem to, like, mind that Chris is hanging out with Susie. I'm like, if she thinks Susie is, like, dangerous, why is she not more concerned about Chris? Especially since Chris is the one who gets bullied by Susie. Like, if Noelle is the one who gets, like, concerned that Susie is bullying Chris, is nobody else concerned about this? Catti and Noelle are friends. Yeah, they are friends. I feel like in some ways Catti is pretty protective of Noelle. That's how I read it as, anyway. I find it interesting, like, if Noelle can't get into her house, she's like, oh, I'll go to Catti's house. Not even hang out with Chris. Like, I'll hang out with Catti. So they are friends. They are friends, and she has an interesting relationship with Chris, and she does not like Susie. That's going to be just interesting. Yeah, she seems to definitely think that Noelle is too soft and can't handle herself. Somebody heard you. QC. Yeah, exactly. The thing with Noelle's crush on Susie is, like, it is extremely typical. It is not unusual. Yeah, most of the class just doesn't like Susie. But Catti's the only one who seems to be like, oh, she's dangerous for Noelle. I don't want her around Noelle. And again, it's like, okay, are you not worried about Chris's, like, state too? Because Chris is definitely, obviously hanging around Susie a lot since the start of the game. While I'm pretty sure everybody else has noticed that Susie bullies Chris, and only Chris. Yeah, I'm like, Eldritchrune fans learn to read Challenge 2025. Please. Please look at the characters and what they say, please. Alright, have a good lunch. Difficulty level impossible, true. Please, reading comprehension. Please. Maybe so. Maybe Catti does have information where she's like, Chris can handle themselves and they're not worried about Susie bullying her. That is possible. She might have information that we will get later. But yeah, the whole thing of like, oh, you know, Noelle just likes, you know, Susie for what she's not. She likes her as, you know, rough and tumble and all that kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, she definitely has a thing for, like, getting pushed around. That is undeniable. But at the same time, she wants Susie to to be nice. She believes that Susie is nice and everybody is wrong about Susie. She says this multiple times. If you say in the first chapter, Susie is nice, she's like, oh, thank goodness, I knew it. Now she clearly is still attracted to, Susie messing with her. But she doesn't want Susie to be mean. She wants her to be nice. And she's correct. Yeah, Chris is not worried at all. It also kind of bothers me that, like, they'd be like, oh, Noelle should have stepped in and, why didn't they care about their friend being hurt? It's like, one, she did. And two, Chris did not seem worried at all. So if we are to buy that Chris and Susie are great friends, and that's good for them to be friends, then why not have Noelle have a crush on Susie, too? Because clearly both Susie and Chris are correct in that Susie is actually a good person. And that her rough traits are still admirable and make her special. Yeah, exactly. I think that both Chris and Noelle find Susie admirable. You could never make me hate you. It is in fact possible to be two people at once. I wish that were me, and oh no, please don't get hurt. Okay, we are done with page 2. We are on to page 3. Uh-oh, QC's been noticed. I have to draw this friggin' debris here. Ugh. Debris! Why are there so much debris in these parts? All these parts. No escape from the debris. Yeah. Again, it's like, please, reading comprehension. At the part where, like, Susie is, like, laughing and she's serious, and it looks like she might actually hurt Chris, Noelle is not like, oh, that's so hot. She's like, I felt sick. I was really scared. Yeah, it can be both, but Noelle is not putting the, oh, that's hot and I like that, above her concern for Chris. That is still her first priority. And that's why my personal belief is that the thing that Chris whispers to Susie in the newest girl part that scares Susie off is, I think Chris said, Noelle's here or Noelle's watching kind of thing. Because I think that is something that would be like, because one, Susie does not want Chris whispered the crisper. Susie does not want, like, an audience for what she's doing. She waits till everybody leaves. And she especially does not seem to want to think that Noelle thinks bad of her. So if all Chris has to be is like, hey, Noelle's here, and Susie will be like, oh, I'm gone. I'm out. Whisper, whisper, whisper. The Chris whisperer. Run, QC, you'll definitely get away from this one. I do kind of wonder if we'll get more, like, outside game little canonical bits like the sweepstakes, because those were really fun. I hope we find out. I don't know if we ever will. It'd be cool if we did. But yeah, if you want my personal theory as to what Chris said, that is my current theory. Run, Forrest, run! Mom always said life was like an evil chimera coming to get you. Yeah, it could be a lot of different things, but at the same time, it has to be something that's like, okay, this is going to scare Susie off rather than make Susie angrier. And I'm not sure how much Chris would know about Susie at that point that would get to that, like, scare off instead of make her more angry. That's true. That is true. That is the kind of stuff that can vanish easily. And it's also just more convenient if all the stuff is in one space. Like, good grief, who knows, like, with Twitter, if we're gonna keep around the originals of the Gaster takeover. For chapters 1 and 2. I'm curious how that'll be done for this one. I feel like it's gonna happen again, but I'm not sure how. Yeah. That's the perils of things on the internet. They can vanish easier than you'd like. Yeah, that's true. Like, there was a lot of good characterization in the phone dialogue. And the alarm clock dialogue. That's true. Man, I wonder if there's going to be, like, one room in, like, chapter 3 or 4 where the phone works in Deltarune, where it's not just garbage noise, and we're going to have to, like, find that room and check the phone every time to see if, you know, a phone call works. Yeah, that was a cute addition to Undertale. You found the one callable room in Cyber City. Please continue for $9.99. Hangs up. I probably gotta stop soon for my stretch break. Demon static every 5 rooms. Gaster calling. Wing Gaster, your phone service is terrible. Try every room and be like, surely this one will be the one that has the phone call. It's all garbage noise. Also interesting that their cell phones are one of the few things, if maybe the only thing, that don't transform when they go into a dark world. Do our special things, and then we have to take a quick break to stretch again because time is flying. Alright, before we launch into crazy amounts of debris. Yeah, oh my god. I did play chapter 1 as soon as it... Well, not as soon as it came out, because I had to go to work that day, but I'm like, as soon as I get home, I'm going to find out what this thing is. I have to find out. And then played it all in one night, and I was like, what's happening? It was so appropriately spooky, that coming out on Halloween. Aw, lucky. I had work. I could not skip at that on such short notice. But, I have put in my vacation days so that I can play chapters 3 and 4 very thoroughly as soon as they're out. I am good on that. The atmosphere around chapter 1 was just so mysterious and cool. Weird spoiler embargo. Exactly. Nerd vacation. Video gamecation. That was such a day. It was so crazy. I'm telling you, there is something to the fact that it came out on Halloween I feel it. I'm like, why that day specifically? Why Halloween? A holiday where people probably already have plans. Did you come out with this? Yeah, exactly. Download the suspicious program and don't talk about it for 24 hours. Ignore your antivirus. It's fine. Ignore this thing at the start that says you accept everything that happens from now on. It's fine. Yeah, I know. That's just the internet. He tried. He tried, but I'm not surprised. It's definitely a hard thing to keep under wraps. I managed. I don't think I saw much of it on the internet while I was at work that day. Yeah. I think you're definitely supposed to kind of at first think, wait, is this a sequel? Because they're on the surface, here's all the monsters and stuff, but then there's little hints that it's not a sequel, like, okay, no, this isn't Frisk. Okay, Undyne has both her eyes. Azrael is at college? And just by the end of chapter 1, you're like, okay, this is not Undertale, but what's happening? Alphys? Who's Alphys? Yeah, stuff like that. Also, Undyne, how do you not know who Alphys is? This is a very small town. You've probably been here your whole life. Have you not paid attention? Come on. Maybe she moved in recently. Maybe she wasn't there the whole time. And clickbait YouTubers with red arrows on the thumbnails. Yeah, I think definitely it's supposed to invoke that, oh no, is it Kara? The eyes, knife, and the smile? Oh no. It was not Kara. Undyne doesn't care for nerds, no. It was all we had. Too busy bench pressing cars, true. True. Probably not. I'm not sure she's going to show up for chapter 3. Was that a unanimous belief? I don't know. Like, even when I was at that, I'm like, okay, I don't think they're going to... There's something weird going on here, but I don't think they're going to go and kill everybody in the next 2 chapters. Like, that's just weird. Why would you think that's going to happen? Yeah, I don't think... I just don't think Frisk and Kara are a factor at all. Outside of, like, AUs where they're, at Azzy's college or whatever. I just don't think they're here. Why was that so popular? Alright, I'll be right back for one more stretch. Need water and all that stuff. I will be back in just a bit. Coming back in. Oh wait, what discussions did I miss? Hello, thank you for coming. What discussions did I miss while I was stretching and getting to waters? Where's my pen? Why you drop her whiskers? Oh, Chris Knight discussion. Oh, I was just thinking about that. I'll be totally honest. At this point, I want Chris Knight to be debunked. That's what I'm rooting for. Like, it could happen. We could have Chris Knight. It's possible. I just don't want it to happen. I think there's enough evidence against it. I think there's, yeah, I'm not convinced. It's weird because I look back on my stuff like when I first played Chapter 2, I'm like, is this saying Chris is the knight? And then when I think about it more, I'm like, wait a minute, there's some things that don't add up here. A large part of why I have some stuff that doesn't add up, like Chris, one, being kind of afraid of the first Dark World, and two, like, warning people about it. Like, it's clear that they are enjoying the Dark Worlds to them, that they're having fun, especially with Susie and all that stuff. But it's also clear, I think that Chris sees the Dark World as more dangerous than Susie or even Ralsei do. Because they do stuff like saying that it's dangerous and people can fall into it to Undyne. And to the kings, like, again, this is unprompted by the player being like, oh, the world's in danger. The knight is QC. And if Chris was the knight, I don't think they would phrase it that way. All the classmates in a trench coat. There's Jockington's head sticking out of the top, or Timmy said. And also, that's where Muffet went. She was the knight all along. And that Kickstarter backer got way their money's worth. My back pain, it's still not great. It's very steadily, slowly improving. But right now I've got an icy hot on. And I'm leaning against my pillow, so that helps a little bit. But it's not gone yet. I'm like, I don't know, what the heck did I do to my back that just absolutely messed it up? Oh, yeah, that's true too. I think that's just a hazard you're gonna take. Everybody loves Muffet. Chris, what are you going to do for your group project? It's very frustrating. I do not like having my back in pain. Can't do some of my exercises because it's just hurting my lower back. I know, June 5th, please. 50-ish days away. It's coming. Also, in regards to like Chris Knight debunkings or whatever, another one I see a lot of, I think about, you know, the scrapped intro with the knight at the top of the stairs. And they're like, oh, well, that could just be, you know, Chris as the knight at the top of the stairs. And I don't know, but like, stop shrimping, don't shrimp. Doing this forever, ATP. And the thing about that is, from my perspective as like a visual storyteller, that is not how I would present that information visually. If Chris was the knight the way that it's described, at least very briefly, that is not how I would show that in visuals in an intro. It does not read that way. Playthrough videos are fun to do. I mean, yeah, the thing of it is symbolism, clearly. But the symbolism of it doesn't really match with the Chris Knight idea. Again, just as someone who has to visually interpret storytelling stuff for my job, that is not how I would show that particular idea. The symbolism of it is what gets me, like, it's kind of a hard thing to explain without using visuals, but maybe sometime I will. Yes, playing games with people is super fun. That's what I'll be doing for 3 and 4 eventually. After I play them myself a couple times, probably. I'm pretty certain that when I first play, I'm probably gonna miss the secret bosses, for one thing. I'm not good at finding those. Our shop's coming apart. Get some guessing, and we'll do fun voices for the characters. Nice. I wonder who will be the next goober who is very fun to voice. Some weird little guy. I am still stuck on my Garrison Fountain Pen as the knight, but I would not be adverse to Death's Knight. I think that, like, while I think that would be a hard thing to explain logistically, like, thematically that could be pretty neat. And visually, too, honestly. Yeah, finding the eggs is going to be tough. Hopefully we'll get another, like, little hint of, hey, here's the, you know, the tree drawing. But I'm probably going to have to copy-paste some of my save files. Be like, okay, here's what I can find this time. Etc., etc. Mm-hmm. But man, like, it was really hard to find the second chapter, the chapter 2 egg room. So you have to, like, go down against the traffic for a while, and I was not good at that. I was not good at fighting the traffic. It's like, if I don't have to go down there, why should I, kind of thing. I had to have somebody tell me, go down, fight the traffic to, you know, find the egg room. I don't like running out into traffic, and neither did Noelle. Oh, that would be tragic. That would be tragic. It's her sister. I still like the idea of, in the weird route, Noelle is the one to banish the player. I think that would be pretty cool. I know, we have to find Des. That is actually what I think is going on with, like, okay, why would Chris do all this kind of stuff if, you know, they're not the knight? Why would they make a dark world? I think they're looking for Des. I think that is the explanation for a lot of their weird behavior in these few chapters. I think their own goal is that they are looking for Des. Yeah, I would not be adverse, even though I'm rooting for my own idea with Garrison Knight, I would not be adverse to Des. I would not be adverse to Mayor Holiday. That would be pretty cool. Alvin's okay, although I think Garrison works a little better in that context. I'm not super adverse to the Vessel either, though I honestly just don't care that much about the Vessel right now. So, if the Vessel was, I'd be like, okay, let's see how this goes. But yeah, Death Knight could be very interesting. It could be some neat stuff. At the very, very least, it would be nice. Like, Death Knight would be nice because then it's like she's kind of less in a trapped damsel situation. She's like trying to do what she can to get herself back to life or whatever. So that would be a cool motivation in that sense. Again, also not adverse to Mayor Holiday. Although the only reason why I don't think it'll be Mayor Holiday is because I feel like she's already being set up pretty well as like the main Light World antagonist. And I don't think that needs to be doubled up. I think it's kind of neat if we keep those two separate. Alright, thanks a bunch for coming to the stream. Thank you for coming. We're still only page 3, but we're making progress. At least my wrist doesn't feel too bad so far, knock on wood. She tried to hide in her shop and it didn't work because the shop got exploded away. Did that wrong. But I hope we at least get some more hints in the next chapter. Please tell us what will happen, or show us what will happen. You ate the shop. That would feel very wooden. I don't think I would like that. Too many nails and wood planks. I guess if you were a termite, that'd be fine, but I am not a termite, so no thank you. That's what happens when your big chimera can do just telekinesis. Hit a mental taste. What is the mental taste of wood? She's so wooden. Or did you mean metal taste? Which again, doesn't sound super fun. Wood and metal, my favorite. Let's get yourself over to a Pier 1 or whatever. I'm gonna go hit up the pottery barn, I'm hungry. Ugh. Well, that'd probably be more like plaster, I guess. Let's go hit up the Home Depot. Probably not. Candy with a wood smell? Maybe it was like a cinnamon kind of candy? I don't know. I really like cinnamon, but I don't really like cinnamon candy though. Something about like the artificial cinnamon candy. It's just like blech. It like doesn't even taste like cinnamon. It just tastes like hot. Oh boy, this panel I gotta do now. Wood smell is good smell. I don't know if I'd want to eat it. I would rather just smell it. Wood smell cinnamon rolls? I don't know. Sometimes artificial smells and tastes work okay. Like artificial banana, I like that. I like regular banana too, but like I still like artificial banana, but like artificial cinnamon? Mm-mm. Not a fan of that. Yeah, I like artificial banana. Apparently artificial banana is based off of a real species of banana that used to be popular and then it went extinct. And all we have left of it is the artificial flavor of the previous banana flavor. We don't take good care of banana crops. Don't monoculture your bananas. Yeah, do that. QC's not in a good position. Crushed by Catti. That's what her name means. Correct. I'm gonna remember that now. Like, what did QC stand for? Crushed by Catti. It starts with a C. No, it doesn't start with a Q. No, they're not going to bring back those bananas because they didn't bring back the dire wolf. That was fake. Those aren't real dire wolves. Don't fall for it, people. They're not real dire wolves. They're fake. Those are not, yeah. Okay, so this company called Colossal Biosciences is like, we did some gene editing, and because of that, we have brought back the dire wolf. Here's 3 dire wolf pups. They're not real dire wolves, though, because they're basically gray wolves with genes edited. Basically, they're not even, like, made to look like actual dire wolves. They're kind of made to look more like Game of Thrones dire wolves, and that they're, like, bigger and their coats are different than gray wolves. But, because actual dire wolves that we do have fossil records of are not in the same genus as, like, not in the same genus as gray wolves. So, they're like, we brought back the dire wolf. No, you didn't. You have a gene-edited gray wolf. That is not the same thing as an old species brought back. Because this is like the same company that's like, we got the woolly mammoth gene to grow in these mice. So now the mice have like kind of woolly, fuzzy fur. That doesn't mean that you brought back the woolly mammoth. That means you have mice with an edited gene. Yeah, we can't do that. We don't have the genome sequence for an extinct animal. They're generated by AI, pretty much. Yeah, they don't even resemble actual dire wolves. They resemble bigger, gene-edited gray wolves. Hello, thank you for coming. We're working on this crazy panel with all this debris in the air. Don't we love drawing all these wooden panels? What is a good comic to read? Well, what kind of comics are you looking for? My personal... don't know? Okay, here's a comic that I loved a lot and that is complete and you can go check out right now. Please go read Bone by Jeff Smith. That is a great series. You can get it in a big book form. It's all done. please read Bone by Jeff Smith. That is really good stuff. Is it on Kindle? I don't know. It might be. It's possible. I do not have a Kindle, so I don't know. But I know it is a big enough comic that it is possible it is on Kindle. No, I'm glad you like Dogs of Future Past. Although for that one, you should probably at least be aware of Undertale first, because a lot of it's based on Undertale. What's another good comic? I'm trying to think of what's in my bookshelf. Yeah, or you can get it from your library. I would say Black Sad, but that's a foreign comic. It might be harder to get a hold of. Red Property of Hate is good. Oh, you know what's a webcomic I've really been enjoying? I need to get back and read more of it. I've really been enjoying Runaway to the Stars. That's a great, fun sci-fi comic that I've been enjoying. Although if you want a comic that was written by me and is not a fan comic, please read The Skybox, which is also finished and you can read for free online. A lot of stuff I'm doing here is fan comics, but if you want an original one, please read The Skybox. Skybox is finished. Skybox finished in 2020. Yep. It finished early 2020, I think. I know, eons ago, true. Oh, the one I'm making right now is Eldritchrune. Give me a link to the Skybox. Yes, actually, let me grab that real quick. Oh, Anthrofractal. Yes, please go check out Anthrofractal. Please do that. That is still underway. That is just at anthrofractal.com. Please follow Anthrofractal. But here is the Skybox. Start at 2 because 1 doesn't work anymore because of Flash. The rest will work. So that is where you can start. But Skybox is all finished. And also, yes, if you want to read Anthrofractal or follow it in any way, you can do that at anthrofractal.com. Very simple. Yeah, the symbols fading in and out, that was Flash, and I never got that to work in HTML. So sadly but it's just a little intro, so it's not really necessary for the story. The rest of it is converted and will work if you click. I think the rest of it is converted to like JavaScript or something, and it will work. I know, curse you, Adobe! So sorry the first little intro panel doesn't work. The rest of it does. I know, I miss Flash too. Flash was so cool. Again, I remember the Homestar Runner days. That was a big deal when I was in college. Are we done with all this dang debris? Oh, no, there's still a bit more. Huh. Yeah, it would be nice to bring back some old Flash games. It's just there's some real history there that's been lost. That's another thing we were talking about earlier about, you know, things can be lost to the internet way too easily. Yeah, there's Flashpoint. Yep, used to watch some stuff on Newgrounds way back in the day. Heck, even on stuff like before Google bought YouTube, there was Google Video, which was kind of a competitor to YouTube. So not everything was consolidated on YouTube back in the day. You had stuff on its own websites, on Newgrounds, Google Video, all kinds of stuff. I know. I posted some comment on somebody else's YouTube video once, just commenting on something, and some of the responses I got were like, "This person's YouTube is from 2007. What?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm old. I'm sorry. I just haven't changed it. Actually, I don't know if it was 2007. Maybe it was after that. Whatever. A long time ago at this point. QC, you've been found. It is a treasure when you can get to videos that are like 20 years old and they're still there. It's like, oh, thank goodness. "20-year to YouTube next year." Good goodness. Yeah, like if you have a Google account, that automatically signs you up for that kind of thing. So my YouTube account has been around for a very long time for that kind of reason. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm sorry, this is when I got to it. This stuff shouldn't have an expiration date. This is 10 years old, but reasons why I keep thinking, I'm like, you know what, maybe I should bring back forums. Maybe I should start like a Undertale Deltarune forum message board. I miss those. Those were pretty neat for communities. If Tumblr does go down, which I hope it doesn't, then I might just go and start a bulletin board instead. Because social media can get exhausting. I know. You need a longer shelf life for this stuff. I've got fanfictions on fanfiction.net that I probably, if people are commenting on them, I don't know because I think I lost the email that was linked to them. As far as I know, they're still there. If anybody wants to read my ancient fanfictions, watch out, but they are there. They're not under my name anyway. They're under a different name. Alright, I think I might have to stop soon for one more stretch. As soon as we get done with these guys. Yeah, please don't find my old fanfictions. Please do not. Please leave them be. There are some fanfictions especially that I wrote like in high school where I'm like, oh, this is actually like problematic bad. Please don't look at them. Please never do. Like sometimes it's like, oh, you know, this is just, you know, high school writing and it's otherwise okay. But there are some fanfictions where I'm like, oh, I would not write this today. This is not appropriate. This is problematic. It's bad. Let's just let it be lost to time forever and never speak of it again. Yeah, I don't go on Facebook except to like talk in some group chats with real life people. Which I'm like, oh, we should just move to Discord, but oh well. The creator event horizon. It happens all the time. And like 10 years from now, I'm going to look back on this and be like, oh, it's gross, I hate it, don't look at it. Can't help that. That's just growing up. No, like, I don't feel shame for a lot of my fan fictions, but there are some fan fictions where I'm like, I feel shame for this because, like, it was racist. Like, not intentionally, I wasn't trying to be, but unintentionally it was racist, so I'm like, oh, I can't look at this anymore. This is, like, gross in a way I did not realize at the time, but now I do. So, like, that can happen. Beware. So I just never bring it up again. And again, this was written, like, under a different name than what I use now, so you would be hard-pressed to find them. Don't go looking. One, they suck, and two, like, my priorities were not the same as now. It's like, thank God I grew out of that. Exactly. This is a learning experience, and sometimes the learning experiences is don't do that. Especially, like, in older fandom times. Very different from, you know, what it is now, where I think people are a lot more aware of, you know, hey, let's not create things that are racist or sexist or bigoted towards a certain group. And because, you know, those people are speaking out more, which, good. But, back then, like, I don't know, 15 or 20 years ago at this point, yeah, almost 20 years ago at this point, that was not as common a knowledge. And me, being a stupid head, didn't think about that. Now that I'm older, I'm like, oh, that was bad. Let's not do that again. Yeah. Oh, Penguins of Madagascar. I'm trying to think, what is the earliest thing I wrote fan fiction for? I don't know if I should count as writing fan fiction or doing fan art, because the earliest thing I did fan art for was Land Before Time, when I was like 6 years old, 5 years old or something like that. You know, draw the dinosaurs. So that's my earliest fan art that I can think of. But I'm not sure if I can recall what I first did fan fiction for. I can't quite recall. Hello Kitty, that's a good one to do fan art of. Very simple characters to do. I kind of want to say the first thing I did fan fiction for was like Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, but it might have been even earlier than that. Maybe it was like Sequest? Did I write? I don't know. If I had done it, I would have done it like on paper. Maybe it was Gargoyles. Crash Bandicoot. I've never played Crash Bandicoot. I guess sometime I should give it a shot. Okay. But yeah, I'm pretty certain that the first fan fiction I've ever written was probably on paper, by hand, and it never saw the light of the internet. That is my guess, and I probably just can't remember what I wrote it for. The first time I was publishing fan fiction, it was for X-Files, because that was when internet fandom was really starting to take off. In fact, that was the origin of the term shipper. Alright, be right back for one more stretch and all that goodness. Alrighty. I return. And I will be back. This will be our last little session. Ugh, no, please stay on my back, icy hot, please. I need your menthol power on my poor aging back. Okay. At least we'll get on to page 4 about. Yeah, this will be our last half-hour session. I'm always fascinated by people who can draw things like cars and planes and guns, because those are like the things I'm like, oh, I do not enjoy drawing these, so I never practice them. At this point, if I have to draw like a vehicle or a weapon, I'm like, can I trace this from real life, please? Unless it's like something I have to design. So I'm always fascinated by people where it's like that's their jam, is like vehicles and basically hard machinery. Oh, what was it based on? I don't know. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I looked up like a kind of old car and traced that from a few angles. It was just supposed to be like a kind of a cruddy car, but what was the car model I used? I can't remember. It's lost to time, I'm sorry. Yeah, generally if you see a car in my comics, it's I picked a car model, looked it up and traced it, because I ain't designing that from scratch unless I have to. I just don't remember which car model specifically it was. Early 2000s Lincoln town car. Possible? You might know better than I do, to be perfectly honest. You might know better what car it was, because I can't recall. I need like that one Tumblr identifying cars in post person to tell me what car I drew. And even then, I'm sure I got some details of it wrong, because like you can't necessarily get the proper match of like make and model across all the angles I looked up, so it might be a little bit of a mishmash of different years and models and stuff like that. Yeah, it was just supposed to be like a car that was not in good shape. Because that lady was not in good shape either. She was already kind of checked out. She got by the kitty. Kitty flap. Then again, part of me is like, man, if I got like pinned by a giant cat, that would fix me. Fix my poor back. I don't know. I need a large animal to walk across my spine. That would fix me. Ooh, sketchpad. Always good to find one of those. Yeah, seriously. Have a giant cat make biscuits out of my back. That would fix me. That sounds really good. Yeah, I don't know if we could breathe. That might be a problem. Also, big claws would probably hurt. already hurts when Alfie's is like, I'm gonna dig your claws right into your skins. And I'm like, honey, your claws are so sharp. I think I had a friend try and trim her claws once, and they just grew back sharper. One must suffer for pet love. This is true. It's not true pet love if you don't suffer. And also care very, very deeply about what's going on with their bowels. Oh, MS Paint drawings. That's the good stuff. I used to do stuff in MS Paint or whatever the Mac equivalent of that was, because I know we had a Mac equivalent. Okay, we're done with page 3. We are on to page 4. Where things are still going very badly for QC. Yeah, I don't know if I have anything I did in Mac equivalent of MS Paint. I feel like there was one like picture I spent a really long time on, and I have no clue if I still have it or not. Oh, that's smart. There you go. Preservation. It's the name of the game. QC, it'll be fine. Just lean into the biscuits. Oh, that's really adorable. What I was doing a lot with my old high school time was making stop motion videos with all of our toys in the backyard. That was a good time. I like doing that. More kids should make stop motion movies with their toys. You have easier tools now than I did. Yeah, with Legos and stuff like that. You done all that? Yes, make some new ones. More stop motion videos. I just realized I was drawing on the wrong layer. No, I will switch that all around. Sing the wrong layer song. Sing that old song for me. The wrong layer song. Mostly I'm just glad that I've been drawing this whole time and my wrist hasn't felt too bad. Not perfect, but I was expecting it to be a lot worse, and I'm glad it's been holding up okay, so crossing fingers. Well, stuff with scale models would be fun. I remember, like, I didn't watch these, but apparently, like, back in the day, like, people used to make, like, all these stop motion videos or stuff like Littlest Pet Shop. Like that kind of stuff. That's the good stuff. I don't know if we're going to be able to reach Birdly today. At least we'll get the stuff with Catti done. So this part features some stuff with Catti, stuff with Birdly, and stuff a little bit with Noelle, although we're mostly going to get Noelle in the next 2 parts. Do this. Actually, I don't think that they necessarily have whiskers on the other side, but oh well, I can always delete those if I need to. You've been deleted. Thank you. I like her design too, except for the antlers. Doing those dang antlers is such a pain. A self-inflicted pain. Especially since I'm like, oh shoot, probably in the next part she's going to like break off part of her antlers. And I'm going to have to remember which parts are broken off. Oh no. He's a kind girl. Well, we'll see what Mayor Holiday feels about that. God, no. Oh no. Setting myself up for failure. Wait, are you sad about Mayor Holiday? Or Noelle? Because if you mean the broken antlers, she'll grow those back. In this universe, her antlers are made of ice. If they break, they'll grow back. Not a big deal. Because they're made of ice. But if you mean Mayor Holiday, then sorry, she's in for a world of trouble. Especially here, she is. I'm pretty sure that I'm having her be a worse person in here than she is in canon. Like while she is an antagonist in canon, I am pretty certain that she is not as bad as people are. I don't know. Then again. Depends on what you think by bad. I do not think she's been a good parent to Noelle. But my guess is that she is a significantly worse person here than she is in canon. I feel like she's being... Maybe not, but I feel like she is definitely being set up as an antagonist. I suspect a lot of Noelle's issues in canon come from dealing with her mom, if Rudy is to be believed. I'm like, like Noelle should not be scared to like go ask her mom for the house key. Like that should not be something that worries her. So the fact that she is like, no, I won't go ask my mom, I'll just go stay over at Catty's, like, not a good sign. Like, why can't you go talk to your mom about it? Something as simple as, hey, I forgot the keys, I need to get home. Like, what is going on there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's obviously, like, busy as the mayor. But she should still be able to go and ask her mom something like that. Like, that should not be this big, scary ask for her. Just the way she's been set up so far, it doesn't seem like they're in a good situation. And that may change once we finally see her. Because we know we gotta see her at some point. But as it stands right now, Signs are not good. Now, that said, I am quite certain that Mayor Holiday will fare much better in canon than she does here. Much, much better. So my eyeballs gotta draw around. Heck, I'm honestly sure Rudy will fare better in canon than here. Well, I'm actually not convinced yet that Rudy is definitely going to die in canon. I think I talked about this previously. Yeah. Seems like she would get frustrated at that. It's like, no, I don't want him to die either. I don't. Some people think like, oh, he's definitely dead. He's gonna die, and I'm like, let's slow our roll on that a bit. Maybe in the weird route, but let's slow our roll. Let's not assume. Most because again, I think that just the threat of his health being in trouble is going to be enough to motivate Noelle to do something drastic rather than him actually dying. He's a good dad. He's funny. Surprisingly hard to show Snake popping its jaw, actually. Loop-de-loops around. Yeah, I'm one, hoping he's not gonna die, and two, not assuming that it's a given yet. I told you Mom is a fine piece of work. She hit me across the room with a pie. Snake tail. Okay. How much time we got? Actually, we might be able to finish this page. It's possible. Get 4 pages done. That's about halfway. Almost halfway. I think this is a 9-pager. A lot of these are 9 pages long. Anyways, for all the horrors I'm putting them through in this AU, I actually want the characters to be happy in canon. Please don't be mean to them. Please let them be happy. It's like, okay, you can be mean to them, but as long as they're happy by the end. Or satisfied. Yeah, you can tell that's a bit of an empty threat. And even then, Noelle or Susie does not pick up on it. She's like, what? I am curious to see how Mayor Holiday would react to Susie, because I don't know if she would necessarily be as nice about it. It's not okay. It's not the end. I remember hearing that a long time ago. Aw. Cute. Cute, cute. I'm forgetting she got freckles. She got freckles. Plus, I don't want Rudy to die because I just want to see more of him. He's funny. He's cool. He's not in Undertale, so this is the only time we're going to get to see him. So let's do it. Let's do it and kabloo it. Should I get the shake lines right? I had to look this up because I'm like, how do snake mouth work? The answer is kind of weirdly. Jockington, why can't you just grow the beard for us instead? Jockington grows the beard, just as predicted. Again, I hope this means we will have 3 tutorial in Chapter 3. 3 tutorial will be canon. That's all good. I didn't color my stuff much when I was younger either. And now I guess I still don't because coloring is time consuming. Alright, I guess we can finish this one off. Let's head on over with Burgley. Birdly. Burley's probably the most annoying one to draw because I'm like, all these stupid feathers. Why are you so large and scraggly and covered in feathers? Why are you all 3 of these things, Burley? And also your face is weird. I say yelling at my own creations. I designed them this way. Why are you designed this way? Who could have possibly done this? We're all trying to find the person responsible. Time for some gamer moves. Alright, once we finish Birdly here, probably we'll call it for the day so that I can go and get my lunch and do the various other things I need to do. Plus, of course, do my stretches, take care of my wrist. I do like drawing flying things, just Birdly. You're a mess. You're so scrunkly. You are so scrunkly. I gotta do a special lens too. I don't know. I think it depends on which direction you orient it when you take the picture. Sometimes you gotta rotate it. sure there's some internal like balance thing on how you're holding your camera that determines if it's sideways or not. Nope, they try and figure it out for you, and sometimes they're not very good at figuring that out. Alright, thanks a bunch for coming to the stream. I'm almost done myself, so you were here for most of the time. Thank you so much for coming. Good luck with your comics as well. I hope stuff gets fixed soon. Yes, remember to drink water. Don't shrimp. Stay hydrated. Be shrimp in the way that you drink water. Do not be shrimp in the way that they sit, with their backs all shrimpy. Thank you for coming. I'll be stopping as soon as we're done with Birdly here. I start my next episode tomorrow. Oh, that's frustrating, especially if it's a video, because then you gotta, change the orientation on the whole thing. Technology. The burb. The burb. Bird, bird, bird is the word. Birdly, bird, birdly is the word. I don't know the rest of the song. Okay. Almost done here. And there we go. Cool. We got 4 pages done today. That is nothing to sneeze at. I'll probably do a little more today after I get done some other stuff. But right now I gotta take care of my wrist and stretch, and also my back. Uh-oh, here come the pics on the Discord. It's all good. Oof. Oof. Okay, we're stretched. But yeah, we will do this. I'll see if I have more of this to do next week. It might be something else. It might be like fills or something. But it'll be Eldritchrune ending stuff next week, most likely. Assuming my wrist is working well, which it hopefully should. I was expecting it to be worse right now, and it hasn't been that bad, actually, so that's encouraging. Here's hoping that I can continue to get it back on track. Because I like doing these. Even if I can't bend my neck down very well right now because it's connected to the back muscles that are causing problems. Remember, drink water. Don't shrimp. Stand up frequently. Move your neck and your shoulders and your back around, so that when you are 40, you will be in better condition than you would be otherwise. Because it sucks if you're like, I want to do stuff and I can't because my neck exploded. Because all that stuff is supported by your spine and all that. Here's my old grandma advice from drawing. Here, make sure you drink water. And stretch. Oh, yep. Blink often, or if you can, periodically look away from the screen and look, if you can, outside at something that's like 20 feet away or as far away as possible. good for your vision. You don't want to be stuck on screens. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to look outside. There's construction mostly, blocking the view. Fine. Well, one day that construction will be a building, I guess. And that will be blocking the view instead. Surprisingly sunny out, so I gotta go out for a walk soon. But yes, as I'm finishing up, thank you guys so much for coming to the stream and for chatting with me. Again, I really like doing these because it's fun to chat with you guys, and I always get a lot done on the art in the meanwhile. Thank you so much for coming by. I should probably be doing Okami again on Friday, and then, if I'm lucky, more this next Sunday, assuming my wrist is all good. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. I hope that the rest of your day goes very well, and I appreciate you all being here. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Alrighty, see ya later.